Hi everyone, we're going to look at the balance sheet. Our key unit competence is to be able to prepare financial statements. The instruction objective: given a case study depicting business club transactions, you will be able to record correctly club transactions in a balance sheet account using the horizontal format. Introductory activity. What are the assets of Gashola Business League? How can a business raise its capital? And 3, why is it important for a business to know its assets and liabilities and capital? After having brainstormed some of the assets of your business club and how you can raise capital, and also giving reasons as to why it is important to know your assets and liabilities, so we're going to look at one by one. Balance sheet. This is a financial statement which exhibits the financial position of a business. It shows the assets, liabilities, and capital, all owners' equity. Why is it important for an entrepreneur to prepare a balance sheet? 1, it helps us to ascertain the nature and the amount of liabilities of a business. So, in your business, you need to know what type of debts do you have. Are they creditors? Are they bank overdrafts? Are they loans? And how much? Then 2, we're saying it also helps us to ascertain the nature and value of assets of the business. Here we look at things like fixed assets such as buildings, cars, or current assets such as cash, bank, and so on and so forth. Another reason as to why we need to prepare balance sheet is to find out the financial solvency of the business. Solvency: how can this business be able to pay its debts? Distinguish assets, liabilities, and capital with examples. What is the accounting equation? I want you to brainstorm. Assets. These are resources or properties owned by the business. Some are tangible items like land, machinery, buildings, fixtures, fittings, to mention but a few. And we also have intangible items like goodwill, trademarks, patent right, to mention but a few. So we shall categorize these assets into 2. We have what we call as fixed assets and then current assets. Fixed assets are properties of the business and can be used for a long period of time, not less than a year, such as those ones. And then with current assets, these are properties owned by the business but are used for a short period of time and does not exceed a year, such as if you have cash at hand, if you have cash in the bank, some debtors, closing stock, some raw materials, prepaid expenses, among others. Then liabilities. These are debts or amounts of money owed by the business to the outsiders. Again, they are categorized into two: current liabilities and long-term liabilities. We have under current liabilities, we have trade creditors, bank overdraft, accrued expenses, short-term bank loans, VAT. Then long-term liabilities, we have debts that are payable for a long period of time, and these are long-term loans, bonds, debentures, mortgages, to mention but a few. Capital. This refers to the amount of money or resources that is invested in your business. It's also called owner's equity. So we have looked at those three items: assets, liabilities, and capital, and these are the ones that make up our balance sheet. As we said, the accounting equation is equal to assets are equal to capital plus liabilities. There are two ways of arranging items in the balance sheet, and these are: one, order of permanence. This involves the recording all the items first that the business will keep for a long time. Items that take a long period of time are recorded first. So we shall start with our fixed assets and end with the current assets. That is with order of permanence. We start with those which are long term and end with short term. Then that means on the side of liabilities, we shall start with capital, long term liabilities, and end with current liabilities. Then two, order of liquidity. These are items that the business will keep for a short time and are recorded first. So it's the opposite of the first one. So that means on the side of assets, we shall start with current assets and end with fixed assets. And then the side of liabilities, we shall start with current liabilities, long-term liabilities, and end with our capital. So these are the two orders. If you mix up things, then you automatically get everything wrong. Then the formats of the balance sheet, we have two formats: the T format and the vertical format. T format can also be called the horizontal format, and this is what we're going to look at in this video. So this is an example, an illustration of items that we should include in our balance sheet. Not forgetting the title. Then we have details, amount, details, amount. As we said, all our assets come to the debit side. So in the T format, you record the assets first. Start with fixed assets. Give some examples here. I mentioned land, buildings, fixtures, motor vehicle equipment. Then when you sum them up, you take the total to the second column, which is X. And then below, current assets, stock, debtors, bank, cash, bills receivable, to mention but a few. Again, you sum them up, put them on the second column. So when you add the two, the total for fixed assets plus the total of the current assets, we shall get our total for total assets below. Then on the side of liabilities, on the credit side, we shall record liabilities and start with capital, add the net profit, less drawings, then you get your X. Long-term liabilities, 3 years, bank loan, debentures, mortgage, current liabilities, creditors, accruals, then your total liabilities. So always the totals for assets and total for the liabilities have to balance, because we said your balance sheet has to balance. So if I'm to ask, looking at this format, which order is this? We talked about two orders, order of permanency and order of continue. So using the above format, prepare the Sure Business Leads balance sheet from the information provided below. So we have some information there. Take some time and see whether you can prepare GBL's balance sheet. That's exercise 1. There's another exercise. If you want, you can also try it out and see whether it will balance. And this time round, the second exercise, it has a net loss. So what are we going to do to our net loss in the balance sheet? We shall subtract it from the capital. Remember, when we had a net profit, we added it on the capital. So if it's a loss, we deduct it from our owner's equity. So you'd be getting such. See whether your answers are correct. I think that is that with this financial statement, which is the balance sheet. The sources or references are from the REP textbook and Entrepreneurship Education by Herbert Mutegria. Thanks for paying attention and following. Hope you liked the video.